Welcome back to Real Conversations with Nora for our 18th episode. And our topic of discussion this week is the value of a good girlfriend or girlfriends. And joining me today is my good girlfriend, Sabrina Goodwin-Monday. Thank you, Sabrina, for joining me today.
Don't even try it. I must have got a demotion. I used to be your best friend. Now I'm a good girlfriend. Okay? Be that way.
That's what I'm talking about. This is what you deal with when you got a good girlfriend, okay? This is what you deal with. My number one girlfriend from Cary, North Carolina.
No, I'm in Chapel Hill.
She's in Chapel Hill. This is Sabrina Goodwin-Monday, okay? Oh boy, this show, guys, is going to be amazing. That's all I got to tell you. That's all I got to tell you. Sabrina, share with us your thoughts on the value of a good girlfriend.
Oh my goodness. Nora, first I want to say I'm so happy to see your face. I don't know if we've ever been this long because of the pandemic that we haven't seen each other face to face. So this is the next best thing. But seriously, when your face popped up on the screen, it just brought me joy. It gave me such a warm, fuzzy feeling. And so thank you for being such an amazing friend. Congratulations on the show. You're doing an amazing job. And I just love you so much. And I think the value of a good girlfriend, my goodness, the value is one who brings value. Mm-hmm. I think you should have girlfriends around you that add value to your life.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, my girlfriend's a big crybaby, you know, so that's why she had to get it all together, put her makeup all together. You know, she's the crybaby of the group. But anyway, I feel the same way. I mean, really, this pandemic has really totally put us in a different space. And we've been talking, guys. We talk all the time. We talk like 4 or 5 times a day. Now, I'm the one who gives her all the attention when we're talking. She's the one, she's talking to Kenny, her husband. She's talking to Quincy and Kennedy and the dog, everybody else. I was like, Lord, that's just my girlfriend. She got to talk to everybody. But share with the audience the power of and value in having good friends, because I don't think, you know, it's amazing to me when I hear women say, you know, I don't have friends, or who do you have 2 like-minded girlfriends or 2 like-minded friends? Well, I don't really have anybody. My heart sinks because I can't even imagine not having a good girlfriend. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, but it's so true, Nora. It's so true. You know, we have done life together. So many women have told us, I'm looking for friendship. I want friendship. I don't have a best girlfriend. I don't have a good girlfriend. I don't hang out with anybody. I don't trust anybody. I just hang by myself. And I just think, wow, because some of my best times in life have been with my girlfriends. I mean, it's one thing, of course, we have our husbands and they are our best friends, but it's different when you have a girlfriend. It really is. And I just believe you should work to have a good friend. I've always told my children that you have to be a friend to have a friend. Yeah. And so I do know that we have to work at being a friend. And I one of the things during this pandemic that I've really worked on is reaching out more. Because I'm not traveling like I used to travel, spending time, like one Sunday afternoon, I just called girlfriends, old girlfriends, because come on, you guys, this is time that we will never get again. And if you're saying you don't have time now, you will never have time. Right. So I do believe that you have to cultivate the relationships. You have to make the friendships work. You have to invest in rich relationships because they don't just happen. You really do have to work at them.
Wow. I was just looking at us. We look beautiful.
Leave my girlfriend know that she's going to give herself a compliment, okay? You have to have a girlfriend that says, I look good and you look good.
Hey, we look good, okay? Let's talk about the difference of a good girlfriend versus an associate. Because sometimes you think somebody's your good girlfriend and they're really not your good friend. They're just people you associate with. Because most really don't know the difference between having a good girlfriend and associate. And that's why I think so many people get hurt in relationships.
Yeah. And I think sometimes we rush. We want that good girlfriend so bad. We rush to judge and rush to make her our bestie. When honestly, you don't know her that well. You haven't been through enough with her to see, if she's going to stick, if she's going to have staying power. So I just think it's important that you don't label people right away. I think those relationships have to earn that value.
Mhm.
Uh, and I've learned over the years that there are associates and there are besties. And it's okay to have everybody where they are, not be so quick to say, that is my bestie, because you'll end up getting your feelings hurt. Because quite honestly, even with your bestie, relationships are hard, friendships are
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
easy. They
Yeah.
have to withstand the test of time, and it does take work. It does take work. What I love about you, Nora, is that if it's not working, you're the first one to say, "This ain't working for me." Okay, we need to talk about it. We need to have a discussion, and I think it takes confidence and
Yeah.
courage to say it's not working. You
Yeah.
have
Step
offended
away.
me. You are bothering me. I am bothered. And so you will say that in a minute. All right, like, hey, hey.
I call it releasing, releasing. She always says to me, "Hey, you know how to release. You got to know how to release because sometimes people stay in toxic relationships and you just stay there because you don't want to hurt the person's feeling. You have to know when it's okay to step away um, from a person, and they don't even have to know you stepped away. That's a good thing. So, can you share with everyone how friendship is a two-way street? Because people, I'm sure you've had those friendships where you had here you go again where you had to step away and say, you know what, I'm doing all the giving,
Right.
where I'm not reciprocating anything. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, and that doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Okay.
Again, you
Yeah.
have to be a friend to have a friend, and it
Mhm.
is an investment, and it does take time.
Mhm.
And if you're not giving,
Mhm.
then why should you expect to get?
Yeah.
And I just think that if it's not natural, if you have to work so hard at a friendship, then it's too hard.
Yeah.
Maybe if it doesn't fit, don't force it. And so,
Yeah.
seriously, and so I do believe that. Um, Many times women especially can be very selfish and self-centered,
Mhm.
and it works when they want it to work.
Yeah.
And over the years that just does has not worked for me. I don't know who it does work for.
Mhm.
So I do believe that you have to think about what
Mhm.
you want out of that relationship. Well, what are you putting into it?
Right.
And success is not convenient, so you do have to really work at it and be a friend. And that means giving, that means sharing, that means listening, that
Mhm.
means not being judgmental, that means being kind.
Mhm.
uh, and so many times we are so quick to judge.
Mhm.
And I've learned over the years at this stage and age in life that, you know what, really being a good friend is you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to always give the advice. Just be a great listener. Be a great listener.
Right. That is so true. Let's talk about how true girlfriends should be able to tell each other the truth without getting offended and to the point you want to break off the relationship, to the point that you might want to break the relationship off. But most importantly, I would say to be able to be honest with that person. And sometimes knowing that the relationship may not work. It might break off because, the person wasn't able to receive what you had to say. Um, it is sad, especially if you've been friends with someone for 20, 30 years. And this happens with women all the time. Let's be real. This happens with women all the time. We're friends with our girlfriends for 20, 30 years, and a guy comes along. You meet him, you only known him a year or two, and he's the sky and the pie and everything else. And you're the bottom of the barrel. And then you speak about it because I believe that people can't fix what they do not know. You speak about it, and then, of course, they want to break off the friendship. Let's talk about that because that happens a lot with women.
Mm. I just believe that you have to protect
Mm-hmm.
your relationships,
Right.
and especially long-term relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Long-term relationships, my goodness, people want to um, people have been with you through thick and thin, and when a new relationship comes along, that doesn't mean you just throw that relationship away. It might mean that you don't have as much time for that relationship, but doggone it, fight for that relationship, work
Right.
for that relationship. And I do know it's not always easy because sometimes our girlfriends, um, they could be a little bossy, and they could and I think there are boundaries. I think
Yeah.
there are boundaries. You have to have boundaries
Yeah.
to preserve that relationship. But if it's important enough to you, you got to fight for it. And you
Right.
got to know that years and years of experience years of history, it's got to mean something. So I just ask that the girlfriends fight for what you believe in, fight for what you believe is right. Don't be so quick to throw it away.
Right.
Because you will miss your girlfriends. You will miss your girlfriends. You will.
Right. No, sometimes, but anyway.
Your personalities are different. This one right here, this is right here. She's not like my husband. When they are through, they are through. Okay. Now, me, we can do it, but not this one. Cut.
Oh God. Okay. So, how important is this? Is really important. How important is it to have girlfriends who know how to affirm you? Because everybody wants to be affirmed.
Yeah, but that's not everybody's gift. It's not everybody's gift, and so
learning. It's learning.
Yeah. Yep. It is a learned behavior. Some people very naturally, but the Bible teaches us to love, to be not judgmental.
It does.
It really talks of friendship. The Bible talks about friendship a lot. And so I always try to model my friendship after the word of God. I mean, God says, be kind. The Bible says that when iron sharpens iron. And so those are relationships that you want in your life. You don't want relationships that are not healthy. You don't want relationships that tear you down. You don't want relationships that feel unnatural. You want healthy, whole, happy, joyous. Now you're going to go through some things with girlfriends, and that's part of the course. But for the most part, people, if you've got one good friend, my mother taught me early on, because this is when I was young, I wanted so many friends. And she said, Sabrina, you'll have a rich life if you have one great girlfriend. Yeah. And that's been, so I've been blessed to have really, really, really great girlfriends in my life. But you do have to work at it, like we talked about. And I just think, Nora, that when we talk about building those relationships, that we are patient, because love is patient and it is kind.
Yeah.
And I think about some of these young relationships that I see, and it's not patient and it's not kind. The way they talk to each other, the way they treat each other, it's just not good. And so we want to be the example for younger generations of people that rich relationships make the world go round. I mean, really, they do.
And the Bible says that love covers a multitude of sin, and also, especially on social media, what we see a lot of that are not necessarily good examples for our young girls in terms of relationships and friendships, and that doesn't mean you can love and agree to disagree, and you can even get upset with each other, but as long as you don't let it stay there, and especially if you're good friends and it's just something. A small mistake or whatever. I mean, you should be bold enough, woman enough. That's what I always say, woman enough to say when you're wrong and say you're sorry and apologize. There's nothing better than someone who apologizes.
Yeah, communication is key. You got to communicate. You can't let it fester forever and ever and ever. You got to talk about it. If something's bothering you, let's talk about it. If you're feeling uncomfortable in a situation, if something was said, if something was done, I think you just got to be woman enough to say, we need to have a conversation. This did not feel good to me. I don't want to be super sensitive, but this is how I'm feeling. And, well, we've had those talks. We've had many talks over this.
Yeah.
When you were offended, I didn't know I offended you. But I've learned.
But I tell her she offended me, okay?
So I've learned through this relationship, and you guys, this girl gets hot fast in a hurry, okay? Her fuse is short. So some days you got to know when to let them cool off and know when to call them. So you got to know your people. So sometimes I'm just like, I don't let her cool off for 3-4 days.
Right. And then I'll call Kenny and say, do you know what she just said to me? Okay.
Right. Really. I'll say, Neil, where's Nora? Is Nora okay? He's like, he's okay. But okay. But it's all good.
And to have your friends that you can cry to if you need to cry. I mean, sometimes life beats us all down. We all have life issues with our children, Lord, with our children. And it's good to have a safe place. That's what I want to say. A safe place where you can share those feelings and emotions with. And who better to do that than a girlfriend? Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. It is a soft place to fall. I mean, really, you guys. And sometimes it's like therapy. I mean, having a good girlfriend is like a therapist because she listens. What I love about this relationship is Nora's my prayer warrior. You got to have praying girlfriends, girlfriends who stop in the middle of their tracks and pray for you in the middle of the night, early morning, middle of the day. And I think really, you guys, prayer is so important in a positive relationship because sometimes you get in a place where you can't even pray for yourself, but your girlfriend knows how to pray for you. Right. So having a praying girlfriend makes a huge difference. It does.
And that is so true. That is so true. But this is another piece. Somebody who can make you laugh. Okay.
Yes.
This one right here loves to laugh. Oh my goodness. And makes you laugh and have fun. I mean, it's just it's a joy. It's so important to have someone who makes you laugh. I mean, laughter. The Bible talks about laughter is good for the soul and it's good for the spirit. So laughter, I love what Les Brown used to say. He said, if you're going through a challenging time, put on a movie that will make you laugh, and that will change your whole perspective of the situation that you're going through. So thank you for making me laugh all the time. Yeah. So let's talk about friendship and how having a good girlfriend is a form, well, you just kind of talked about a little bit, a form of therapy for whatever either one of you are going through in a given time. And so let's talk a little bit more about that, because we've had some really challenging times in our lives with our children, you know, or family members or what have you, and just to have that safe place to be able to talk about it.
Yeah, I think trust is real important. I think trust, having a sounding board with a girlfriend, someone, like I said earlier, is not going to judge you, is not going to think a different thought about you because you're going through whatever you're going through. And so I do believe that and it's okay to have a girlfriend to say, you know what, that's above me. You need to go see a therapist, okay? Because if you have to send your girlfriend. You have to send your girlfriend to the therapist. I've done all I can do with you now. but really, you guys, sometimes you feel so much better when you just unload, when you just lay it out. Then you feel so much better. And I think you just have to have a safe place to conversate, a safe to lay it out there. You feel because when you hold everything in, that's hard. You got to have somebody to talk to. That's what makes girlfriends so much good. Because I remember, I mean, so many times, Nora, that you were going through something, I was going through something, but after we talked to each other, we all felt better, and then we're all very merry. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Sabrina, I want to thank you for being our guest today on Real Conversation. It means a whole lot to me as my girlfriend. With Nora. And are there any last minute comments that you would like to share with our audience?
Well, I would just say spend time, make time for great relationships with girlfriends. Make that time count. As we are seeing in this pandemic, in the middle of pandemics, in the middle of the pandemic and protest, and so much unrest in our country. We've got to find solace in one another. We've got to spend time. And during this time when we really can't see each other, my goodness, do have some Zoom time, girlfriend time, whether it is just having a Bible study together, book club together, having wine down time. If you want to have a glass of wine and you guys just catch up on the week. Yes. What else can you do as girlfriends in the pandemic? You can shop together, online shop, like Nora loves to shop. And so she was helping me pick out some bedroom stuff the other day. And so I just think it's important to find a great way to connect and communicate during this pandemic. You guys, this time is unprecedented. We prayerfully won't ever have time like this again. And we want to come out of this thing better than we went in. So forge those friendships. Friendships make the world go round.
Right. Right. Why? Well, once again, I want to thank you, Sabrina, for your insight on today's topic of friendship. And for my Real Conversations with Nora audience, please follow us on social media on Instagram at BWOTMFG and on Facebook at Business Women on the Move for God. Visit my website at BWOTMFG.com and sign up for our weekly inspirational quotes. And I look forward to seeing you on next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Real Conversations with Nora. Have a blessed and awesome week. God bless you. Love you.
Bye. Thank you, Nora, for having me. It was fun.
Thanks, Sabrina.